Hey everybody, I wanted to quickly, my phone continues to ring. I'm getting emails constantly in reference to those families that are kind of panicking a little bit as it relates to providing good routines and helping to support their loved one that has a disability. With all of these school closures and them being stuck at home and out of sorts, out of routine. So I thought that would be helpful right now. And this week I'm going to try to do it as much as I can. Maybe create some blog posts, also so written out instructions. But one of the things that I've tried to help families realize right now how important positive reinforcement is versus consequences as it relates to their behaviors at home. Remember, we say it all the time, behaviors are a form of communication. And right now, just as much as we're showing anxiety of the uncertainties and the unknowns, and our routines are getting off-kiltered a little bit with everything that's coming down and things are closing and working from home or not being able to work at all. So imagine what that looks like for someone that has cognitive disabilities and some anxiety associated with the structure of their day and the unknown. So I wanted to target today more so positive reinforcement. I think that as our stress as a parent, because I have two young ones, but through the services that we provide also to those with disabilities and from previous being a special education teacher, the sense of our anxiety, and sometimes we tend to, in the moment, respond to behavior maybe not as consistent as our moods are changing and our anxiety's on a high, which is to be expected, right? So I think that if you can place your anxiety on a pause and really focus on positive reinforcement, I think that you might have to be flexible with that this time around. So with so many uncertainties and the routines being off, maybe it looks like as positive behavior happens per hour, you might be giving more of a reinforcement of a reward for that. So kind of take the tools that they like to, what motivates them, that you can shape that positive behavior along the way, instead of when they maybe act out and our first instinct is to take away the iPad or take away something or send them to the room or have a timeout. So I think that to avoid that, have a game plan and already build in a lot of positive reinforcement throughout the day. Whether you did that before, try to set them up to succeed, knowing that the routines are going to be off. So I'll give you an example. If maybe they like the iPad, and instead of just giving them the iPad all day, kind of shape that behavior. Maybe you do this for 15 minutes and then you can have iPad for 30 minutes. And then that gives you the break when they're doing their iPad. That kind of gives you the break to work from home or attend to what you need to then re-engage them after 15 minutes. If you don't already, I'm going to try to do another tips of like the go-to strategies that you need to incorporate today at home. One of those being a first and then strategy. One of those being a timer or a way for them to be able to see what is being expected for them and how much time. Sometimes it's easier, it's harder to process if you're saying, oh, well, you need to do this for 15 minutes and them not visually seeing what that 15 minutes look like, especially when their anxiety is going to be on a high naturally. So don't feel like you're going backwards if your positive reinforcement has to increase. Don't feel like you're going backwards if you have to pull out some of those strategies that made them effective and independently to begin with. You're not going backwards. You're just setting them up to win, and you're setting them up to succeed during this time where there's a lot of uncertainties and a lot of stress associated. So I hope this was very helpful. If you want to comment and leave me your email, if you want to email me, I can send you some tips also of a social story that was shared with me that might be helpful as it relates to this virus and how to talk about that. So my email is piecesofme@amanda@gmail.com. So that again is piecesofme@gmail.com. Send me an email. I can try to help as much as I can, or if you have other conversations that you need me to help to influence, I will try to help and be other resources to all those families that are panicking it's different, and I keep saying this, don't panic, but just be prepared. Replace your panic with being prepared. And sometimes it's easier said than done because we don't know the strategies or what we should do to even be prepared. So let me help during this time of sense of high stress, high anxiety for those families. My heart is breaking for you all, so I want to try to be available. I will try to post videos. I'm going to continue to write some blogs. If you're not, follow me on Pieces of Me by Amanda on Instagram. That's where some of those videos and blog posts will be, along with my Facebook page, Pieces of Me. So hopefully this was helpful. Remember, as much as our anxiety is on a high, focus on positive reinforcement, rewarding more frequently for good behavior, and shaping that behavior. So don't just expect it. You should be expecting it, but you should also be rewarding them for showing that. So that way they'll be more apt to do that behavior over a long period of time. Next, I'll try to come up with resources on building your routines at home during this crazy time. So hopefully this was helpful. Good luck. Let the force be with you. I totally get it. I'm going to be here answering all of these emails and comments as parents are reaching out to me to try to figure out what that looks like for their child. So, and if you have to, open a bottle of wine and get through the night whenever they're settled down. So you got this. I'm with you. May the force be with you.